Question 1379. Do you think politicians that knowingly work against the proper functioning of a government should be penalised and potentially excluded from holding public office? Not that this
Say that again. I was distracted by a cat and missed the first 4 or 5 words. Please.
Question 1379. Do you think politicians that knowingly work against the proper functioning of a government should be penalised and potentially excluded from holding public office?
Penal.
Well, yeah, I think that any of them that are dishonest should be kicked out. So we'll be down to what, 5 in the nation?
I'm
Not even
inclined
that.
to agree with that. I
think
if a politician lies to the people, they should be removed from office and not allowed to take office again.
God says yes. Now they're all talking about nudes. Oh, hello, Ricardo. Ox says yes. Seraphim says yes. God says, and stoned in the village by the poor. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Dog says absolutely, they're forever untrustworthy.
I could get on board with the stoning by the poor.
Jenny.
Absolutely, they should be punished and drawn and quartered.
That's a bit unnecessary.
Is it?
See, I'm not. See, this is the problem. I'm not convinced it's not. I think that we talked about it before. I think punishment in crimes should be proportional to the level of trust given to you. Yeah. You know, for example, no, I'm not going to soapbox. Not going to soapbox. But the point is, you are expecting a level of trust from a public official. You are giving them this level of trust, and I think that every crime they do that breaks that should be worse. Their punishment should be worse than if a normal person was to do it, because you're breaking.
I agree. I agree because it's a matter of, we're supposed to trust the people that we have in our government.
Yes.
Oh God, this is going to go on a really big tangent. We shouldn't do this, Dave.
Go on.
We're supposed to trust them, and they're supposed to be representing us, and they are our employees. And if employees lie and do fucked up shit, they get fired. Mm-hmm. So I don't understand why we can't just fire all of them that Good do point.
It. Uhan says we need to fire Congress and start over. Dog says they should have their dicks slammed in a fridge door.
Yep, absolutely.
What if they're a female?
Yes, what if they're female?
Nipple?
Yes.
Lone Wanderer says, throw the politician in jail, make an example. Hang them in the town square for all to see. Ox says, not in America. Here you get 10 years for stealing a pack of gum and 60 days for murder.
Hell yeah. That's the way it should be.
Pack of gum interferes with corporations, whereas the murder just frees up a slot for another worker drone.
Manda.
Yes.
Just yes. Badger?
Say the question again.
Do you think politicians that knowingly work against the proper functioning of a government should be penalised and potentially excluded from holding public office?
Yes. I think if a politician is shown to lie once, they should never be able to take office again.
I like that idea. Chad says, I think we should bring back the Greek tradition of ostracising unpopular politicians. Every year we revoke the citizenship of the worst government official. How do you rate them? Rate my politician. I suppose you could do it upon approval ratings locally.
Well, based on the approval rating based on what they've done or accomplished. Put the list of their good things and a list of their bad things. Well, like these 4 congressmen right now, who they're going. You do know that these 4 guys gave reconnaissance tours to all the Proud Boys the day before the riots.
But this is what I mean by
be punished. Those guys
knowingly.
should not just be punished. They should be buried in an unmarked grave and their families expelled to a foreign country. This is like, how bad can you get as a politician than to help create or improve or affect a riot against your government, against your nation? Yeah, they should be fucking punished.
Jeff.
Right. The wording of the question doesn't imply lying.
No, it doesn't.
It does not imply lying. Now, so where exactly are we going? We're talking about the proper functioning of a government. Now, if there is a problem with the system to begin with, and you are trying effectively to get reform, would that actually count as what you are as in your scenario here?
Attempting to reform it through the channels of government. That would be considered acceptable. Having a rally outside of a Capitol building.
I know we're all thinking about the orange dickhead at the moment, but this is perhaps where where I may have a bit of a different opinion upon this, because I'm not always convinced that you can actually work. You can actually work to reform within the system, and even revolutionary. But there is, even for revolutionary politicians, there is a point to standing in elections, even if you are not. Generally, if anything, it's to get you somewhat of a platform.
Yeah.
So I've got very mixed feelings on this. Because the way the question was implied, I think everyone went with, if they lie, they should be out, or misrepresent people, they should be out. Yes, I absolutely think any democratic society should have the right of recall. I think a really better democratic society is that they shouldn't be earning any less than the average national wage. Would be a lot better as well. Yeah, they should be earning any more.
Yes, I think there are several things that go like that.
But it's just the way it was worded that I wanted some clarification on that, because I don't necessarily know that I totally agree with going outside of the system at times, because there's times it needs to be done.
I'm not convinced. I think there are systems in place. Well, in the UK and the US, I can speak for, because I know there are systems in place to do virtually everything.
Yeah, there are systems, but then sometimes, I mean, the good example would be with women's suffrage movement. They went outside the rules because they weren't getting heard.
No, but they didn't have at that point. Until you had universal suffrage, there was no other option.
Yeah, exactly. There are those scenarios and technically, a politician doesn't necessarily mean someone who is an elected official. To be an activist in this as well.
Yes.
So this is perhaps where I differ a little bit, because I know the reason I know where everyone was immediately thinking of this because of what happened last week, and that was. Absolutely, that asshole needs to be impeached, and he should never be allowed anywhere near any kind of public offices again.
Yes,
never be allowed near a pub either.
No, he doesn't. So no, he shouldn't. Ricardo says, temporarily we need to bring back the guillotines. Then we may go with the Canadian Viking option. Ricardo says, I said they should use the gallows the protesters had at the Capitol on Trump, but I got called evil for it. Chad says, I will be a benevolent dictator. Right. Before we go to the next question, who's humming really badly?
Any title you want to take for yourself that you have to put the word benevolent in the beginning of it to justify it's okay to do that, it's not okay to do that.
I don't think there's no such thing as a benevolent dictator.
Yeah, we
Dave,
just,
I would be
answer the
benevolent. I was very firmly down on the until I was firmly down with everyone else on yes, they should be excluded, yes, they should be penalised, and then Jeff decided to throw a spanner in the works. But yes,
Oh, Jeff.
Fuck's sake, Jeff.
that guy.
if you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.